Perfect World Episode 190. Forced into a desperate situation by Di Kuan, Shi Hao ultimately benefited from the misfortune. Not only did his injuries fully heal, but his second immortal chi also reached complete perfection. Continuing from the last episode, after diving into the depths of the Chaos Gate Lake, Shi Hao was covered by a swarm of mosquitoes that frantically sucked his blood. Nearby, the chaotic ancient inscription also moved, rapidly charging towards him. Shi Hao, prepared for the worst, held the myriad spirits diagram for defense. However, the chaotic ancient inscription was too fast. In an instant, it used its chi repeatedly to frantically stab at Shi Hao. Fortunately, the chaotic ancient inscription, having lost consciousness, didn't pierce Shi Hao's flesh. The first strike hit his armor, causing sparks to fly. The second strike landed on the myriad spirits diagram, causing a violent reaction. The diagram emitted a chaotic aura and countless living beings emerged, repelling the chaotic ancient inscription. Silently and without a trace, Shi Hao's mysterious inner flame rushed out, burning away the surrounding black lake water. The scene was horrifying. Finally, the chaotic ancient inscription retreated completely. The golden mosquitoes also retreated, as if by instinct, keeping a safe distance from the myriad spirits diagram. Shi Hao finally breathed a sigh of relief. The crisis had passed. But he didn't leave. It was a rare place of tranquility where he could quietly heal his injuries without worrying about pursuit from the celestial god. Shi Hao's body finally began to recover. During the healing process, he sensed something in the depths of the lake emitting a faint, vital energy that seemed beneficial to his injured body. Gritting his teeth, Shi Hao decided to go to the bottom of the lake to uncover its secrets. Meanwhile, in the outside world, Shi Hao's chase into the forbidden area by the celestial god and the incident at the Chaos Gate Lake became the focus of discussion. Many believed Shi Hao couldn't have survived the lake. Others lamented his fate, recognizing his prodigious talent for cultivating two immortal chis in an era without heavenly tribulation. They considered it a pity that he died so young. Upon learning this, Qing Yi stood speechless on a cliff. After diving 40,000 zheng into the lake, Shi Hao's pupils constricted rapidly at the sight before him. He saw a breathtakingly beautiful woman, sculpted like white jade and emitting a shimmering glow. She had blue hair, and although her clothes had decayed, her vital areas were covered by armor made of dark immortal gold, showing no signs of corrosion after countless years, instead flowing with an ancient aura. Shi Hao guessed she might be a fallen female immortal from eons ago. Although stunning, she instilled a sense of trepidation in him, especially with a section of snow-white, jade-like dragon bone lying 1,000 zheng away. The 10 zheng long skeleton, though lacking flesh and blood, still emitted the aura of a true dragon, the same supreme, awe-inspiring aura Shi Hao had felt within the Kunping Tide and the immortal Bone Chest Tide. Shi Hao watched from a distance, speculating that the peerless beauty and the dragon skeleton might have been enemies who fought to the death. Staring at the two chaotic ancient inscription mosquitoes, he instantly understood their power. They had consumed the flesh and blood of the true dragon, making them terrifying inhabitants of the Chaos Lake. Fortunately, they retained only their instincts and had lost their intelligence. Shi Hao moved away from the dragon bone and approached the woman, the source of his body's recovery. However, within 10 zheng of her, an unknown force repelled him, causing his body to rupture again. Clearly, the woman possessed a strange power. Even after countless years, a vigorous life essence still emanated from her. Shi Hao, wiping the blood from his mouth, sat cross-legged outside her range of influence and began circulating his cultivation technique to heal. Suddenly, strands of rainbow-colored light, like flowing silk, emanated from the woman. Shi Hao's body, like a desert camel encountering sweet dew, was completely nourished. Shi Hao sat like this for 8 or 9 days. Slowly, his wounds healed and his whole body was rejuvenated, glowing with 7-colored divine power that illuminated the hellish surroundings. The damage to his great Tao significantly improved. Without the woman's mysterious energy, his recovery would have taken much longer. Finally, after the 3rd month, Shi Hao's essence, energy, and spirit were fully restored to their peak state. 2 strands of immortal qi circulated around his body, making him feel stronger than ever before. Shi Hao had reached the highest peak of his life so far. Yet, he wasn't in a hurry to leave the rare tranquility of this place, wanting to continue consolidating his cultivation. Nourished by the woman's emanating energy, Shi Hao's second immortal qi unexpectedly reached completion, just like his first. His second immortal qi couldn't be any stronger. Thinking about this, Shi Hao had a bold idea: to cultivate a third immortal qi, pushing his physical and mental state to the absolute limit, and then induce heavenly tribulation. Perhaps he could cultivate the third immortal qi during the tribulation. However, Shi Hao had learned from the white turtle that there was no heavenly tribulation in this era. Forcing it would be extremely terrifying, and the slightest mistake would result in complete annihilation, body and soul. Therefore, Shi Hao didn't dare to try it lightly. He had to push his state past his previous limit. Having already cultivated 2 immortal qis, the resulting heavenly tribulation would undoubtedly be even more terrifying. He had heard that in the previous era, many prodigies had died under the heavenly tribulation. Not everyone who attempted to transcend it succeeded. In the following days, Shi Hao began a self-abusive cultivation regimen. He removed his tattered armor, baring his body to the Black Lake water and its endless killing intent. He was injured many times, but recovered with the help of the vital energy emanating from the woman. After 6 months in the Chaos Gate Lake, Shi Hao's physical body and primordial spirit had completely adapted to the Black Lake water, no longer fearing its corrosive properties. Yet, he remained in seclusion. He then actively provoked the divine fire realm mosquitoes, using their stingers to temper his physical body. Despite the mosquitoes' potent venom, he relied on the woman's overflowing vital energy to repeatedly heal and repair his body. Later, he continuously used true God realm inscriptions to temper his physical body, refining himself through repeated trials. At first, his body was covered in wounds, his flesh mangled, but he gradually adapted, his physique becoming increasingly powerful and resilient. His essence, energy, and spirit became incomparably abundant. Shi Hao was very satisfied, feeling ready to face the tribulation. He wondered about the outside world, suspecting many believed he had perished in the forbidden area. He hadn't appeared for over half a year. Whether it was hostility or regret, discussions about Shi Hao never ceased. Recently, however, the commotion surrounding him had gradually subsided. After all, even the most powerful, once dead, are just dust. Geniuses continued to rise within the Immortal Valley, and people began to focus on other powerful figures. Zhi Xian of the Fierce Nest, having also cultivated a second immortal qi, was pursued by celestial gods. After fleeing back to the Fierce Nest heavily injured, the celestial gods followed him inside and perished, blood raining from the sky and shaking the entire immortal bone. Shi Wang, possessor of the World Tree Sapling, also became a target of the native celestial gods, who risked being eroded by the curse to leave their seclusion and search for him. The World Tree, even in eons past, was a sacred existence. Integrating its sapling into one's body undoubtedly allowed for the cultivation of a second immortal qi. It was said that in the immortal ancient era, someone merged with the World Tree, taking the strongest path of all time and reaching the pinnacle of the immortal Tao, possessing shockingly powerful battle prowess. Such events naturally made the native celestial gods restless. Other famous ancient prodigies also encountered resistance. Since this was the last time the Immortal Valley would open, everyone revealed their trump cards and fortunes, triggering the native celestial gods' frantic plundering. Meanwhile, the various sects and cultivators in the outside world were restless. Over the past 6 months, they observed the events within the Immortal Valley with a mixture of joy and worry, especially concerning Shi Hao's disappearance into the Black Lake. Many sects, including the demonic dragon sect, the demonic corpse abyss, and the heavenly kingdom, gloated, feeling his death was too lenient. Others felt it a pity that such a prodigious talent should die. Regardless, Shi Hao hadn't appeared for over half a year, and no one believed he was still alive. However, amidst these discussions, Shi Hao's head emerged from the lake. He scanned his surroundings, noticing several creatures stationed there, Kuen's people, guarding the place, afraid Shi Hao wasn't truly dead. Upon seeing them, Shi Hao, having not eaten for over half a year, silently dragged a humanoid creature into the lake. He quickly learned what had happened in the Immortal Valley over the past 6 months. Finally, he fed the creature to the mosquitoes and strode ashore. A dragon, the first to discover him, exclaimed, "It's actually that bastard. He's not dead." Shi Hao scanned the creatures present and replied, "That's right. I sure have returned. None of you will escape today." His words made the creatures tremble. They had been guarding the place simply to obey the decrees of their clan's celestial gods, not believing Shi Hao could still be alive. Now, they looked as if they had seen a ghost. He had emerged from the lake again. Quickly realizing they were no match for Shi Hao, they fled in panic, preparing to use their escape talismans. However, Shi Hao had already sealed off the void and quickly finished the battle, taking them out one by one. Among them were even true God realm experts, but Shi Hao's current strength had reached an unprecedented level, and they were no match for him. Shi Hao then set up a large cauldron and filled it with dragon sparrows, golden horned beasts, and other creatures. He stewed a large pot of delicious food, the enticing aroma spreading for miles. Shi Hao hadn't tasted such delicious food for over half a year, and wished he could eat it every day. News of Shi Hao's return swept through the entire immortal bone, shocking many. They couldn't believe he could reappear after falling into the Chaos Gate Lake, a place from which even celestial gods could hardly escape. Not long ago, some in the outside world had gloated, mocking Shi Hao's arrogance and predicting his early demise. His reappearance was a hard slap to their faces. This day was destined to be turbulent. Shi Hao's return was bound to create a huge commotion. Meanwhile, Shi Hao remained at the shore of the Chaos Dragon Lake, deliberately spreading the news, preparing to make the celestial gods suffer the consequences. On the ground lay a pile of bones, a scene of carnage left by the creatures he had devoured. Shi Hao lay there, his head resting on a dragon bone, his body covered with bright magpie feathers. He was incredibly comfortable. After half a year of fleeing, severely injured and near death, he was now relaxed and content after a full meal. It was a rare moment of leisure and enjoyment. Please give us a like and subscribe, fellow Taoists. Let's continue our chat in the next episode.